Hey.
Hey, Janice. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Finally, I can work out with you again.
Yeah, it's been a while
I know,
for
right?
Thursdays.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and whenever you're ready, Catherine.
ConnecTogether creates opportunities for people living with disabilities by providing information, resources, and programming geared towards greater inclusion and quality of life. Check out some of the programs we offer through our online learning platform, ConnecTogether, including our Service Mondays, where we highlight a local organization or initiative, Wednesday Chair Yoga with Bobby Seal-Kobisky, Thursday Adapted Fitness with Megan Williamson, Friday Rotating Dance Classes hosted by Janice Lawrence and Joanne Cuff, and other initiatives including presentations by the Disabled Independent Gardeners Association's Growable program and our Perspective series.
Our next Accessible Community Forum is on accessible education. Be part of the conversation on November 18th from 1 to 3 p.m. as we discuss the current accessible education climate in BC. Register today at accessibleeducationacf.eventbrite.ca.
Check out our updated programs calendar on our website, connectra.org, or find us on Facebook at ConnecTogether Society.
Awesome. Thanks, Catherine. All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Megan, and I am with Ocean Rehab and Fitness. We still have some people coming in. That's great. And I'm here to do our Thursday workout. We're here basically every Thursday, and we actually just found out that this will be extended until June of next year. So that's awesome. So working out with Ocean Rehab and Fitness every Thursday, extended until June. So I do believe that we won't be here the week of Christmas. So that week after 22nd, we won't be running that day. But you can always jump online and watch one of the recordings because they post all of these on the ConnecTogether Facebook page. So worst case, you can always jump on and do a workout with a recording with myself or Coach Sierra. Okay, so for those of you that are new, we're just going to go over some equipment that we need. Today, we are going to be doing a total body strength workout with some breathing to get started. So things we're going to need today, something like a light object, a ball is ideal, yoga block, trying to think what we're doing with these, something that you can easily grab from one hand to the other. So it could be like a stuffed animal. It could be a light weight even if you're comfortable grabbing a weight, probably not more than about 1 or 2 pounds. But these bender balls work really well. Yoga blocks work really well, rolled up towel, anything like that. Okay, and then we are going to be needing a weight. So if you don't have dumbbells at home, you can use something that is slightly weighted like a soup can. Okay, that works really well. We're going to be using one, mostly for the people that don't have as much core stability and they need to hold themselves while they do a bent over row. But if you know that you can do that on your own and you choose to do a double hander, go ahead and grab 2 of these. And then we're going to be using a band. Okay, so some type of a band that doesn't really matter in terms of color because they're all different, but just have a couple of them around if you have more than one so that we can talk about resistance. If you don't have a band, I would recommend using some like stretchy pants or tights, or you can just use nothing. You can also just do the movement, and we can get a lot of range of motion benefit and activation from that as well. Okay, and then last but not least, we're going to be using a trusty dowel. So a dowel can be a dead hockey stick, it can be a broomstick. I've seen some individuals use a crutch. I'm probably missing something, umbrella, right? Something like that. And just make sure that it's longer or wider than your shoulders. So we don't want to have something too narrow. Make sure you've got nice space. Okay. And then while we're going along, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to pop it in the chat and I'll answer it as soon as I can. If you have something a little bit more lengthy or something a little more personal pertaining to you that you want me to maybe look at or anything like that, just save it to the end and we can talk about it at the end of class. Okay. All right. So let's get started. We're going to sit nice and tall. Okay, and we're going to think of rolling our shoulders back. And for those of you that maybe don't need a backrest, I would recommend coming away from the back of your chair. Okay, if you can't and you need that backrest, an option is to maybe, doesn't need to be this, but maybe prop something behind your back so that you can sit just a little bit taller for this. Okay, so you decide, and then we're going to place both of our hands, if we can, or just one hand on our belly, right at our belly button. I'm going to close my eyes. I invite you to do the same. If you don't feel comfortable with that, that's fine too. And we're going to start some nice deep belly breaths. So I want you to inhale through the nose, and you're going to think of expanding your belly button into your hands. Okay, and while you do that, I also want you to feel like you're expanding behind your ribs too. So we're getting like a 360 expansion. Once you've done that, you're going to exhale and think of everything falling in towards your midline. So everything falling into the center of your core on that exhale. Okay. Trying to breathe out your nose if you can, in and out. Here we go. Inhale, everything expands. Feel that belly pushing against the hands. Feel the ribs expanding behind you. And then exhale, everything sinks in. And we go again. Inhale. Big belly breath. And exhale. And inhale, big belly breath. Okay, and this should purposely be a little slower than what we normally breathe, that rate. Exhale. So challenge yourself to just slow everything down. And inhale. And exhale. Okay, we're over halfway. Let's do 5 more. Inhale. And exhale. And as you do every breath, just notice if you're able to make those breaths a little slower and a little longer. Okay, inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale. And last one as a group. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Okay, we're going to add on. You can open your eyes if you want to watch. Otherwise, we're going to add on by inhaling. Same inhale, nice big expansion in the belly. And as you exhale now, I want you to actively pull. It's like someone's behind you and they're actively pulling your belly button into the back of your spine. Okay, so this is a deep core activation. As you exhale, you should feel everything kind of condense in that frontal body. Okay, so we inhale, expand 360. So even expanding back here. And exhale. Everything drawing in. Nice. Okay, let's do 10 here. That's 2. Inhale, feel free to close your eyes again. And exhale. Sometimes it's helpful to get in our bodies and just take away the visuals. Get a better connection that way. And inhale. And exhale, everything draws in. Nice deep activation. Feel everything tighten up slightly, get a little bit more firm. And inhale. Exhale. Drawing in. And inhale. And exhale. If you're not right at my pace, that's okay. Just do the pace that works for you. We're over halfway. Inhale. Exhale. Nose breathing if you can. And inhale. Exhale. And last 4. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Almost there, folks. And inhale. And exhale. Last one. And inhale. And last exhale. Nice. Just bat your eyes open gently. All right, now we're going to get into some of our movements. So we're going to start with our nice big chin tuck. Welcome, Marnie. Thanks for coming. Tuck the chin. Slowly roll down. You can use your hands to walk down if you'd like. Looking back behind your legs, looking through to the back of the chair. Inhale or exhale at the bottom. And then slowly, using your core, if you can, slowly roll up, or you can use your hands again to walk yourself back up. Then I want you to place your hands either next to you, slightly behind you, or just on something that's solid. So it could be your armrest. It could be, if you have space, behind you on the chair. Press your hands into the floor, or sorry, into the surface, and slowly reach your heart and your chest up to the ceiling. And I want you to think of slowly gliding your shoulder blades down as if you were going to place them into your back pockets. My eyes are up. I'm not looking at the monitor. And I'm taking a deep breath here. And then we're going to repeat that whole sequence. Here we go, tucking that chin. So this is called seated cat-cow. All the way down until you can't go anymore. Slowly inhale or exhale, you're going to roll up. Either rolling up, or if you need your hands again, that's fine. Hands are going to go behind you. Shoulder blades in your back pockets. Reach your heart to the ceiling. And take a deep breath here. Expose your throat. So it's almost like you're exposing your bottom jaw is almost trying to get to the ceiling. And awesome. We're going to do 2 more here. Tucking the chin just for today. All the way down. Slowly rolling down until you can't go anymore. Rounding that back. Deep breath at the bottom. Inhale or exhale. Okay, we're probably still breathing through our nose at this point. And bring your hands behind you. Shoulder blades down and back. Tuck them into those pockets. Reach your heart up to the ceiling. Excellent. And again, tucking that chin. This is your last time today. Slowly rolling down. Okay, deep breath in or X at the bottom. And then we're slowly going to come up. Last time, we always end on extension with this one. And reach that heart to the ceiling. Lift. Expose that throat, bottom jaw on the top, shoulder blades tucking into those back pockets. And we take a deep breath here. And we're going to start with some half circles with that neck. So think of aiming your nose over to the side. A nice easy half circle, and then end up looking at the other side. Super, super gentle, nice and smooth. 3, warming up that neck. Halfway. Two more. Keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. If you find your shoulders are rising up, then we might be pushing this half circle too much. So just make it a little smaller. And now we're gonna tilt the ears. So tilt your ear down as if you're gonna pour water onto your shoulder. Come back to center, other side. Okay, watch this one. I see a lot of times, I see a lot of the chin move. So the chin stays directly facing the monitor. And then you're just tipping sideways. So we're trying to get a nice big lateral stretch along the side of the neck there. If the body's really tight, it's definitely not going to want to go here. And it's going to find all the other ways to do this movement. Okay, and we're staying nice and tall in the body. We're just moving that neck. And if you don't get a lot of movement out of this one, that's fine. I just want you to go as far as you can. This should just be a nice stretch. We don't want it to be painful in any way. And then we're going to go into single shoulder rolls. So one shoulder at a time. Notice how my arm isn't moving. I'm not doing this chicken dance thing, right? We're keeping that elbow low. Just the movement is coming from that shoulder, which is coming from that shoulder blade, which is found on your back. Okay, so that's what's working here. We want to really warm this up. Last two, I'm going forward, and then we're going to reverse it. So same shoulder, coming back, nice and big. Okay. Just the one side. And 6, nice. Once you've done 10 of those, we're going to repeat other way, other side, coming forward 1. Nice and big. 2, so it's almost like you're going to touch your ear. 3, touch your earlobe with your shoulder. 4, and then depress it down to the floor. Big circle. And 9, and then 10. Now we're going to reverse it, just that one side. 1 and 2. And 6, 8, this is 9, and 10. Awesome. We're going to take a nice big stretch all the way up and over. Go ahead and place your elbow or your hand on something supportive so that we can get a nice like reach, like a side stretch. So we want to support the trunk here and then bring it up and over. So there's 2 variations of this. This one, we want to use the support to get a big, big stretch. Notice how my armpit is going up to the ceiling. We want to avoid this rounding. Okay, and I'm always pulling up and out of my shoulder. So if I'm leaning on this arm or having my hand down, I'm not sinking into that shoulder. I'm keeping that neck nice and long. Lots of rules. No, these are all just suggestions for safety. Okay, and reach. Good, and again. Good, probably feeling a nice big side body stretch here. You might even feel it into the hip. So right in here into that hip flexor. That's always good. And we're gonna do 2 more here. Big reach. Deep breath in each position. And last time. And awesome. Okay, we're gonna take some nice big angels. So we're gonna have our hands right at 90 degrees, elbow bend, open the hands up. So it's like we're trying to get those arms nice and far back. And we're gonna take the hands up and over 1, and then bring it back, just like you're making almost a snow angel, which a lot of us could do if you're here in Vancouver. And 3. Okay, notice how I'm not looking at my fingertips as they go up. So we're not taking the eye gaze or the focus up. We're just staying face forward to keep the back of that neck nice and long. And nice, last 2 here. And awesome, we're gonna do a twist. So we're gonna use this hand. You can leverage on something. I usually use my thigh. You can use an armrest. Rotate, leverage to get more rotation. Tap over that opposite shoulder as far as you can and reach. Other side, 2. Okay, and I just did it. I just wiggled my hips. So just a reminder, no wiggle parties in the hips. This rotation should be coming from the belly button, not the hips, okay? We're trying to warm up this trunk rotation for movement later. Nice. And again. 2 more. And awesome. Good. Okay, we're going to go into some wrist work today because we will be doing some bicep work. So coming in, we're going to do a nice big circle with the wrist. The rest of my arm is staying still. So I'm not doing my elbow, right? Keeping that arm nice and still. If you can't do this or you feel like you're unstable with this, you can rest your arm on something. So you could do it down on your lap, okay? Otherwise, we're straight out. Nice big circle with that wrist. Get out any Rice Krispies. 10 in one direction. And then you're going to switch. Ooh, crack. 3. And 6. 9. And then 10. Awesome. Okay, other side. 1. And try and make the circles nice and big. We want to push that range of motion. It can be a little uncomfortable going that big, but we want to make as much effort there as we can since this is part of our warm-up. I've already switched, so make sure that you've done your 10. And that is it, and awesome, good. Okay, shake out those arms, go ahead and grab your dowel. We're gonna do some hinges. Some of us might not use a dowel for this. I'm just gonna show the 3 variations. Okay, so variation 1, if you have a hinge practice or you've been practicing with me, you'll know this one. So you're gonna get the dowel, you're gonna pull it in nice and tight to your chest, okay? So the reason why we do this is because it helps us from rounding in the spine, right? We're trying to hinge. So hinging comes from our hip crease right here. We're not gonna round at the spine, the thoracic, okay? So if we pull that dowel in tight, and then I want you to think that the late queen is across the room, and we're gonna hinge from the waist and we're gonna bow to her. So we're bowing, and then we're gonna think of coming up by leading with the nose. So I'm thinking of leading with the nose so that I come up all in one piece. I'm not rolling up like we did in cat-cow, okay? This is version 1, and the hinge will look a little different depending on how much range you have here, okay? That's version 1. If that doesn't work for you, I invite you to explore using your hands. So you're gonna do the same position, nice and tall. You can glide your hands forward to try and keep that spine nice and long, right? So my spine's flat. We're trying to avoid this collapsing. So you might want to slide. You also might want to walk. You could walk your hands forward until you can't go anymore. And then you're either going to take yourself up like I showed before, or you can re-walk your hands back. Okay, so that's version 2. Version 3 is going to be a little bit more challenging. And this would be if you already have a hinge practice. You're going to take the arms with the dowel overhead. Okay, and I would only do this seated. Okay, so Janice, I would do this seated if you're going to do this with your hands overhead. So you're going to take your eye gaze, you're bowing, and the goal is to keep the hands above the crown of the head the whole time, and then squeeze to come up. Okay, so those are the 3 versions. I'm going to demonstrate just this one, and here we go. We're going to do 10. 3, 2, and 1. We hinge. And then squeeze. You almost want to think of squeezing if you can. Squeeze your butt muscles to come up. Okay, so we're hinging. Keep the spine long. Keep that dowel pushing into your chest. And think of leading up with the nose. Everyone is leading back with the nose, no matter what your variation is. And come on up. Good. And again. And nice. And again. Last 3. And 2. Nice, everybody. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. And awesome, good. Okay, we're gonna keep the dowels in our hands. We're gonna do a T-tip now. So we're sitting up tall, feet flat on the floor. Hands are wider than your shoulders. We're gonna take the hands up over the head. We're going to tip to the side. I think I saw Janice doing this one actually. Come on up. And then other side, come on back to center and then bring the dowel down, okay? So if you want, for some of us, we're gonna wanna go out and away to come up. If that doesn't work for you, then I would say just keep the dowel really close, okay? Up to the, close to your chest, so that's a little easier. The tip may not even be, it may not look like mine at all. For some of us, the tip might just be finding balance here. We might not even need to tip. It might be a little wobbly and we're trying to find stillness. Okay, so that might be your variation. So work within what's going to benefit you the most. And we're going to do 10. Here we go. Come on up. And we tip. And we tip. And then we bring it all the way down. Nice. And again, come on up. And we tip. And we tip. And we bring it down. Good. Okay. And my tempo is like pretty medium. So you don't have to be at my tempo. If you need more time, that's totally fine. I'm just giving guidelines. Okay. Make sure also that your butt cheeks don't leave the seat. So you want to make sure we're not tipping too much, that you start to do this. We don't want to lift all the way up. Okay. We want this to come from the trunk muscles. Okay. And again. And we're halfway here. Okay. Make sure that dowel's getting right above the crown of your head every time. And again. And last 3 here, everybody. We're just doing this once today. And 2. And last 1. And that is it. Awesome. Okay, set that aside. Go ahead and get some water, and then we're going to start with our first triple set. Okay, so this first move, we're actually going to use your weighted object. I showed a dumbbell. I didn't state this in the at the beginning. I'll just use this. But if you have, if you don't have a hinge practice where you were able to do the dowel variation with the hinge, so if you were somebody that did a hand walk, I would recommend putting something at your lap. It could be a pillow, ideally probably not a ball, but this is just what I have here. A pillow or a rolled up towel, something just to support you so that when we do our bent over row, which is what we're going to do, we're not collapsing over. So we have a little bit more support for our spine. Okay. So use that if you need to. You're going to place the dumbbell in one hand. Other hand is going to go somewhere to stabilize you. So you can have it on the armrest or your leg, anything like that. We're going to hinge forward. Okay, and then we're going to think of driving the elbow down and back. So we're doing a single arm row. If you can do, like Janice, you might want to do a standing bent over row with both hands. Okay, if you want to do a bent over row with 2 weights, you can do that too. But if you need a little more stability, we're going to stick with the 1. Okay, the rep range today is just 10. Okay, so here we go. Hinging forward, keep a nice long spine, eyes on the floor, and 1, and here we go. Okay, and we're thinking of squeezing, gliding that elbow back, squeezing that armpit, feeling that shoulder blade gliding into the center of your back. Two more here, breathing. And 10, and awesome. Okay, bring it up. Go ahead and switch. If you are doing both hands, then you can just wait for us for now. On the next round, you can go into the next exercise because you'll know what's next. Okay, here we go. Shoulder blades back. Nice long neck. Support here if you need it. Other side. Drive that elbow down and back. Squeeze that shoulder blade. And 10. Awesome. Good. Okay. Go ahead and grab your band. So hopefully the band you have is long enough. We're going to be standing on the band and or hooking it under either a foot or your feet, or even some of us can hook it under like the wheel of your chair. Okay, and we're going to be doing some bicep curls. So this really all depends on how long your band is. So for me, I can do both arms at the same time because the band is long enough, but some of us might not have that option. So you might, if it's not long enough, you might just want to put one end of the band under one foot, and then you can just do a single arm. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm holding the band with my hand. I'm keeping my fist here. So almost like, you know, that the beach is that way, the bicep curl, we're not ever doing this with our wrist. We want to keep the wrist nice and tight here. So we're getting support and engaging those forearm muscles. And essentially we're going to think of curling fingernails to armpits and then coming down. Okay. This elbow is going to stay glued to my rib cage the whole time. So I'm never going to see this. We're never going to lift the whole arm. Okay. The elbow is going to stay down. Okay, so I'll demonstrate with, I'm actually going to lower this so people can see. I'm going to demonstrate with both hands, but feel free to do single arm if that's suitable for you. Okay, so we're sitting up nice and tall, shoulder blades rolling back. Here we go, elbows in at the rib cage, and we're going to do fingernails to armpits, pull, and then release down. Nice. And pull. Okay, I'm going to give everybody a rep range for this because some of us might need to do more than 10. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate 15, and I'm going to say let's go 10 to 20. Basically, when you start to feel fatigue. Okay, so whenever that fatigue starts to set in, and it's before we throw all of our form away, we want to end that exercise. Okay, I'm over halfway here. And nice, and I'm starting to feel fatigue here, which is good. 3, we'll do 2 more. And awesome, good. Okay, so just ask yourself, did my elbows, as in you, did your elbows stay into your ribs, right? Sometimes we can just get really, we start to use other parts of our body when we're just isolating those biceps, okay? All right, last one in the circuit. You can just leave your band down there if it's helpful. We're gonna do some ball passing. So there's 2 ways we can do this. Okay, option 1 is for those of you that aren't sitting with your back right against a chair. Okay, so it's gonna be an internal rotation. It's a back behind the back pass. This is gonna help strengthen the internal rotators of our shoulder and help with mobility. So you're gonna take your object, your light object, pass it behind your back, and then tap in the front. Pass it behind your back and tap in the front, okay? Actually, you can even do, if you wanted to take it over, you could. Because version 2 is gonna be not passing behind the back, and this is if you have a backrest that you can't leave. You're gonna start overhead, you're gonna pass the ball, and then tap, so the ball's in my right hand, tap your sides, and then pass the ball, so now the ball's going into my left hand, and down, okay? You can also, I don't know if any of us have room, but you can tip forward and pass the ball that way as well, okay? So a couple versions. Version 1, if you're able, is gonna be the internal pass here, okay? Or if you wanna take it up, that's fine, okay? Here we go, 20 passes. 3, 2, and 1. I'll demonstrate this one to start. And then next time I'll demonstrate another one. Okay, this one, we want to keep at a medium pace. If this is really challenging for you and you don't have that range, then just do as many as you can for the time that I'm moving. Don't worry about hitting 20, okay? Because this is alone is going to help with that range of motion, right? Okay, if you have any pain in this one, in this internal rotation, you're going to do version 2, okay? And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And awesome, good. Okay, we're gonna go back to the start. So we have our single arm bent over row, maybe double for some of you. We have our double arm bicep curls with the band, and then we're gonna do some ball passing like we just did, okay? I'm gonna start on my other side just to switch it up, okay? You can decide what you're gonna do. If you do have a side that's like very, very much more dominant than the other, sometimes it is nice to start with that one just to help out your second side. But if you don't have a super dominant side, I do recommend that you switch your leading sides. Okay, here we go. Hinging forward, getting your support here if you need it. Shoulders are back, nice long neck. 3, 2, and 1. Driving back with that elbow for 10 reps. Okay, last 2. And awesome. Come on up, other side. Okay, here we go. Tipping forward, hands somewhere for support if you need it. 3, shoulders back, 2, and 1. Drive that elbow down and back. We're working those back muscles, so I want you to feel that armpit squish. Imagine that shoulder blade gliding to the middle of your spine. Two more, everybody. And awesome, good. Okay, set that aside. Go ahead and set up your band for your bicep curls. I'm gonna demonstrate the double again. Okay, same thing. If you need to do single arm, totally fine. If you don't have a band, you could do your dumbbell if you want, or your weighted object. Band is preferable if you do have one. Okay, so elbows are staying glued to those rib cage, shoulders rolling back, nice and tall. Here we go. Fingernails to armpits, keeping the wrists nice and curled. And 2, that's gonna protect your elbow joint. And 3. Excellent. 10 to 20, depending on where you're at. You want to feel some challenge there, but we don't want the form to go out the window. Okay, so I'll let you decide. I'm going to demonstrate 3 more, so we're somewhere in the middle. And awesome, good. Okay, taking that band out. We have our ball passes. This time, instead of this one, you can continue doing that, but I'm going to demonstrate the overhead pass, braiding it underneath, okay? So whatever you decide, it's 20, okay? Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Take the ball, and then we pass it underneath. Tap, pass it underneath. Whatever you can do, whatever you'd like to do, no version is better than the other. Okay, and 8. This one's going to take a little longer than the first round because we're going up overhead, over halfway. Keep that breath going. Remember, we don't want to look at the ball as it go. If you're doing overhead, we don't want to look up. Just keep your eyes forward. Keeping the back of the neck long keeps the whole spine in alignment. Last 5 here, everybody. And 2. And 3. 4. And 5, and you're done with those 4 today. Excellent. Okay, get a sip of water, and then we're going into a new triple set. We'll be starting with the band again. Okay, once again, if you have a long band, this is going to be helpful, and you're going to be just tossing that band behind your shoulders. Okay, we're going to be doing a chest press, but it's going to kind of look a bit like a fly. Is it actually? Yeah. So we're going to have our palms down. Okay, the band is just at my shoulder blades, nice and tall. And we're going to take the elbows out, and then it's like you're going to kiss your thumbs together and then bring it back in. So it's like you're hugging something, kiss those thumbs together, elbows are straight, and then bring it back in, okay? If the band is not long enough to do that, you're just going to hold the band in at your chest, and you can do just a single arm punch. Not quite the same movement, but it's still hitting the pec and the push muscles. Okay, so from the side here. Okay, and this is a moment where if you need it, you might want to put some handles in your bands if your grip isn't going to be able to help you too much on that. Then you can just easily make a handle and you can put it in your hand or around your wrist. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. We're going to say 10 to 20. Okay, biggest thing with this is I don't want to see your spine change shape. So as I do a press, my spine is not coming in like this. We're staying nice and tall. We're keeping a nice high chest, almost like you're going to show off a necklace. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Big hug and tap those thumbs and then bring it in. And big hug, squeeze those pec muscles and bring it in. Good. Okay, we're over halfway here for demonstrating at least. Keep going. And 3, staying tall. And awesome, good. Okay, set the band aside. We're gonna grab your dumbbell again. So this shouldn't probably be more than 3 pounds. Okay, even a soup can is actually perfect for this. And we're gonna do a sword pull. So it's like we're gonna pull something out of our hip or out of our pocket, like a big sword. Okay, so you're gonna take your weight, you're gonna set it at the hip, and then you're gonna pull. So it's like you're peeling something through your chest and then hitting the corner. And then you're gonna peel it back down and put it back into the pocket. So pull the sword out, ta-da, and then put it right back into its holder, okay? This is only gonna be 10 on each side, okay? So I start with my hand, notice how it's crossing my center. So we're starting on that opposite hip. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. Pull and down. Pull it through and down. Okay, this one, if you don't have a weighted object, or maybe you haven't been doing a lot of overhead work, or maybe you feel like you want to be careful with your shoulders for whatever reason, you can also get benefit from this without any weight and just doing the motion. Okay, and we're thinking of leading with that shoulder blade along the back. Nice, last one on this side. And excellent. Okay, and then we're gonna repeat to the other side. So we cross center. Okay, this hand you can definitely stabilize if you need to put your hand on your armrest or your leg or anything like that, that's fine. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. Pull it across, up, and then put that sword back in its pocket. Pull it out, put it in. All these movements in this exercise are smooth. We're not throwing anything away, okay? Nice. Last 3 here, everybody. Breathing through that nose. 2. And 3. And awesome, good. Okay, we're gonna go back to our chest press Last time. It is a triple set, I promise. I want to get these 2 strength ones done first. Okay, here we go. So putting the band behind you. Grab your sip of water now if you need it. Okay, so it's like a chest fly because we're doing that big opening first and then tapping those thumbs together. Okay, here we go. Round 2, 3, 2, and 1. Big opening and bring it back in. So like a nice big hug. Okay, once again, I'll demonstrate with 15, just so that we can hit that medium point. Hopefully everybody's timing is somewhat together, regardless of how many reps you do. Doesn't matter, do what's best for you. These are just guidelines. And awesome, last 5 here. And beautiful. Awesome. Good. Okay, setting that aside, let's do these sword pulls one last time. Okay, start with whatever side you'd like. I'm going to start with my left this time. Here we go. Last time here. 3, 2, and 1. Big pull up and bring it down and through. Okay, everything in this movement, remember, is nice and smooth. We're not throwing anything away. If you can't be smooth, then your weight's probably a little too heavy. Okay. Okay, this one's only 10. Feeling the movement leading from that back. So right at that shoulder blade. So I'm taking the shoulder blade down, back, good. Last 2 on this side. And give that a rest. Good. Okay, let's switch. Last time, other side. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Over halfway. Keep that breath going, everybody. We're almost there. Just take notice if the sides feel different. Maybe they feel the same. And last one here. And awesome. Okay, you're done with that. Okay, the last exercise that I wanted to put in there is going to be our oblique reach. So we're going to have our hands down. This is a little bit similar to the T-tips, but we're going to have it a little bit different. You have the option of holding weight at your sides if you'd like, but only if you're going to hold even weights. So you might want 2 pounds at your sides, otherwise hands splayed. That's what I'm going to do. Shoulders back, and we're going to reach like you're going to reach for something on the floor that fell, but we're not rotating. So we're just tipping here, and then we're coming up. My butt cheeks are staying on the surface. So it's like I'm bending in my waist, okay? So I'm collapsing, reaching for something. This shoulder's facing up, and come on up. Good. And we're exhaling as we reach, and come on up. Nice. And exhaling as we reach, and come on up. And we exhale as we reach, come on up. And exhale as we reach, and we are halfway. Here we go. And counting down, this is 8, 7, and 6. Good. Side bending. And 5, 4. And this is 3. And you're almost there, 2. Last one, keeping that chest towards the center, towards the monitor. And you are all done that. Awesome. All right, everybody, that is our workout for today. So we hit a little bit of everything: push, pull, rotation, tip, hinging. Okay. So make sure if you have any questions, please stay on, and I'd love to chat with you for a minute. Otherwise, we will be here next week, and I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks everyone for coming.